The dark path is not something you need to get rid of. It's not a flaw, it's not a mistake. The dark path is a patterned energetic response that shows up under pressure. It develops for a reason, usually early in life, as a way of protecting energy. And just like seeds germinate in darkness, the dark path forms where growth first had to be protected. And the word dark can sound heavy, but in SolePath it means contracted energy. Dark does not mean wrong. It does not mean broken. It does not mean something you should feel ashamed of. It simply describes how energy behaves when it pulls inward for safety. The dark path shows us where energy tightens. This contraction usually appears in moments of stress or overwhelm or pressure or uncertainty. It's not conscious at first. It happens automatically, the way your body tightens when it is startled. In life, it moves in rhythms. Expansion and contraction are both natural movements of energy. Breathing does this, the tides do this, growth itself does this. The dark path is simply the contraction side of your energetic rhythm. And human beings are patterned, not random. We repeat familiar energetic responses because they once worked. Patterns, they bring efficiency, they help us survive. Your dark path is part of that patterning. It does not appear by accident. The dark path, it tends to surface when pressure builds. Often you'll notice it when things feel harder than they should, or when effort increases but ease disappears. You feel tired and tense or braced. This isn't personal failure, it's a signal. The dark path's original job is protection. It protects emotional energy, it protects physical energy, it protects psychological safety. Even when it becomes limiting in later life, its origin is intelligent. And you are not broken. SolePath is not about correcting who you are. It's about understanding how your energy moves. No, this is important to say clearly. You do not fix the dark path. You do not remove it. When the dark path is unconscious, it can quietly drain energy, not because it's bad, but because it's working too hard. You may notice pushing when rest is needed, or effort replacing ease, tension becoming constant. The dark path doesn't know when the danger has passed, it just keeps protecting. And awareness is what allows that grip to soften. Awareness, it changes everything. The moment you recognize a dark path pattern, you gain choice. Choice is not to force change, but to respond differently. You might pause sooner. You might ask for support. You might rest instead of pushing. Choice doesn't mean effort, but it does mean options. And options restore energy. And one moment doesn't define a dark path. SolePath Discovery works by looking at patterns over time, not snapshots. We're not interested in how you behaved once. or even occasionally, we're noticing what repeats when life gets tight, what shows up under pressure, what drains energy consistently. That's how clarity replaces self-judgment. The dark path, it's a signal. It's not a life sentence. It doesn't say who you are. It doesn't determine your future. It simply tells you when energy has moved into contraction. Signals are meant to be listened to, not feared. And you are not divided. Your light path and your dark path are not in conflict. They belong to the same energetic system. They belong to your soul path. The light paths show you how energy flows when you're supported. The dark path shows how energy protects itself when support is missing. Together, they form your soul path braid. They tell the truth of how you move through the world. And there is no right place to start. You don't need to be calm. You don't need to be healed. You don't need to be ready. SolePath Discovery begins exactly where you are, with honesty, with curiosity, with kindness. And that is always enough.